Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in. How you doing? Welcome everyone to the PreStream podcast. What's up? What's up? Today is Saturday, May. Wow, I'm getting ahead of myself. Today is Saturday, March 12th, 2022. It is a bright and sunny day here in Washington State. In fact, the temperatures have increased a little bit. Got my window open, but I have to have my shades down because it is so bright and sunny outside. Woo! It's probably going to heat up significantly in here. Luckily, my office door is wide open today. My wife is at work. Jasper Kitty is welcomed here in the office today if he would so like to come in. That's completely up to him. Awesome. How you guys doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. And you guys are ready for some streaming fun today. Yes, the Elden Ring marathon continues. As I told you guys, I need to play this every day. Seriously. The game is so lengthy. And here's the thing, like, I was looking at my posts on Twitter from last week, and it was like Saturday night last week, and I posted up, man, having so much fun in Elden Ring, can't wait to take on Liurnia tomorrow on Sunday. And I'm like, it's Saturday today, and I'm in Liurnia still. And I've been playing it every day. Like, I played it Sunday, I was off on Monday, I played it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's Saturday, I'm still in Liurnia. This game is insane. And it's funny because someone else in the stream chat here had just posted up the schedule. They wanted to see the schedule for the week. And they saw that tonight's late stream, excuse me, is actually going to be Horizon Forbidden West. And they were like, Phil's still playing Horizon Forbidden West? Yeah. Do you realize that these game developers released two of the longest open world games in years 1 week apart? Like, what did they think was going to happen? People were going to be able to just play through them within 2 days? Like, this is insane. The insane amount of content in these games is out of control. And I'm actually, like wondering, outside of someone who literally just sat down and played one of them from start to finish, okay, how anyone could have gotten through these games. Perfect example, my wife played Horizon for about a week, played Elden Ring for one session, didn't really like it, went back to Horizon, and she just beat it a couple days ago, right? And that's a normal person. She has a job, life responsibilities, so she played it as much as she could between, and she just beat it. So, can you imagine someone trying to play both of these games at the same freaking time? I have a hard time trying to figure out how someone could do that or juggle them, because that's what I'm trying to do. And man, it's a rough one. Normally, open world games are great if you can play one of them in like a few months. But we had Dying Light 2, then Horizon, then Elden Ring within a 3-week time span. Like, what on earth were they thinking? And I hate to say it, at this point, these game developers have to stop with this bullshit, thinking that they're the only people releasing games. Because that's what it is. These game developers get this tunnel vision, right? And when I say game developers, by the way, I don't mean the people necessarily making the game. I mean the people at the high up who make these decisions about marketing and release dates, okay? You're not the only company out there. There is monstrous competition. This would be the same as like being, I'm going to release my movie the same week as a giant blockbuster movie, and there's no way that my movie would ever be negatively affected by the release of the blockbuster movie the same day, right? What are you, stupid? Yeah, if that's your mentality, you're really stupid. And this is what's happened is, how in the holy hell do you release 3 giant open world games within a month? They all cut into each other. They all cannibalize each other. And it's actually funny because some news has come out that Horizon, okay, actually sold more exclusively on PS5 than Elden Ring did. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you compare direct sales of Horizon Forbidden West and just Elden Ring on PlayStation 5, Horizon outsold it. But only per that comparison. If you look at total sales, Elden Ring across PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC monstrously outsold Horizon by like 2.5 times, like a ridiculous exponential amount more, okay? But if you only make the direct comparison, okay, Horizon sold more, but it's like Well, why did Horizon sell well on PlayStation 5? Because it's a console exclusive, right? It's only on PS4, PS5, and PC. People on Xbox can't play it, and people who own these consoles want console exclusives. They're fiending for good ones. It's been a while. Last year we had a couple. We had Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, right? There weren't many amazing PS5 exclusives last year. There were a couple decent ones, but when you're looking for something good to play on your console that you spent a ridiculous amount of money for, you're going to buy the ones that are the console exclusives. So, of course, it sold well. But then, of course, two things happened. Number one, Elden Ring monstrously outsold overall because it was multi-platform and a ton of people bought it on PC. Yes, a lot of people bought it on Xbox, and it just exponentially outsold Horizon. And then number two, Horizon sales went from here that first week all the way down to almost non-existent. Because usually what happens with a good game is that first week a ton of people buy it, all right, they play it, they enjoy it, and then via word of mouth, it gets out that this game's really good, and then the second week you get another surge in sales. Usually it's not as big as the first one, but usually you get another surge in sales that second week as more people go to buy the game because so many people enjoyed it that first week. It was kind of a wait-and-see attitude. With Horizon, it was sold massively, no one even bought or talked about it ever again. Shoveled it, brushed it under the rug. So it's funny because some people have been asking me a lot of questions like, Phil, when are you going to play WWE? Phil, when are you going to play Dying Light 2 again? And I'm like, you guys realize that I'm still playing Elden Ring. I'm, a third through the game? Seriously, from what people are telling me, I'm maybe 1/3 through the game right now, and I'm 30 hours into Elden Ring. Holy shit, right? Currently, with Horizon Forbidden West, I'm, 24 hours into that game, and from what I'm being told, I'm basically entering the final third of the story of the game, so tack on, another 8+ hours to that, plus, I'm going to be checking out some side content starting tonight. I'm going to check out the major, I guess you could call them loyalty or companion missions, where you're trying to help out the people who've helped you during the course of the game, and apparently they do significantly add to the story. I don't know if they're any good, though. We're going to check that out tonight for the first time. So, I'm in the midst of two games. I mean, if this game stays at the same pace it's at, Elden Ring may be a 100-hour playthrough for me. Seriously. And Horizon is probably going to be between 30 to 40 hours. Okay? So, with these insanely lengthy games that I'm playing and juggling, how could you even expect that I'd be playing another game right now? And this is a unique time because almost never do we get this kind of release back to back to back. I don't know. Again, these game developers have to stop with this shit of being, I'm isolated. My game's good enough to stand on its own laurels and it will not be affected by other games being released around it. You've got to be out of your mind. Really. Like, you're out of your mind. You're having people invest years of their life and work, millions upon millions of dollars of investment to make this game, and now the game comes out and no one will enjoy it because there's 10 other games that came out that overwhelm it. Like, you're a fucking idiot. I feel bad for people who worked on Dying Light 2, and yes, I actually am starting to feel bad now for people who made Horizon Forbidden West, because these games are not terrible games, but no one cares about them, because Elden Ring completely overshadowed and destroyed them at this point, and it's like, fuck. Any other time of the year you could have released the games, it probably would have been better. It would have been a better time. People would have been able to talk about and focus on these games. So, that being said, man, it's a unique time for gaming for sure, okay? So please understand, I would love to be playing a variety of games outside of what I've already been playing for weeks. I can't. I am playing these games that take so long, right? And the good news is, yes, there is massive demand right now for, there's definitely massive demand for Elden Ring. So I'm playing it every day. It's still getting good attention. It's still getting great engagement on the streams, good support on the streams. The views on YouTube are pretty good. So I'm not complaining or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a rare situation where I would actually focus in and play so much of only a few games. And that's just the situation I'm in right now, okay? Did I want to play WWE 2K22? Of course I did. Can't. How would I ever get any progress in the other games I'm playing, right? And keep in mind, in 2 weeks' time, okay, we've got 2 more releases at the end of the month that I'm very interested in. So I've got to get as far as I can in the games I'm playing, hopefully wrap up some. Like, it would be great if I could just wrap up Horizon right before then. So then maybe I could juggle between Elden Ring and Ghostwire Tokyo, with maybe Kirby as a late stream at night as a chill stream. That would probably work out really well. But I got to get through what I'm doing, you see? Okay, anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because it's just such a unique time. And as a content creator who does variety stuff for you guys, it's tough right now. Like, I'm having a blast. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a blast. I'm having a ton of fun with everything that I'm doing. I love Elden Ring. I actually really like Horizon. And obviously Skyrim is a no-brainer that I'm enjoying. So the games I'm playing are great. But please understand that's why I can't play other games, because people do seem to be coming by every day and like, oh, Phil didn't play WWE. I wonder when he's playing it. Oh, is Phil going back to Dying Light 2? It's like, I can't right now. There's just no possibility for that. Now, here's the good news. For those of you who are interested in variety, okay, if you actually look at the game release schedule, April is almost a dead month. You've only really got a couple games. The Lego Star Wars Saga coming out on April 5th, which actually looks like a completely unique and interesting game. And then there's MLB The Show at the end of the month, which is under Game Pass. So that's kind of a no-brainer for a chill stream because I don't have to pay for it, right? But outside of that, there's not that much going on in April. So April may very well be the catch-up month. Let's go back to games that I didn't play. Let's go back to games that have been on hiatus. Let's re-explore. Let's go back after I start to wrap up Horizon, and likely by then I'll be wrapping up Elden Ring, okay? Then we can actually go back to that stuff, okay? See, it's funny because CB666 says no one wants to see Dying Light 2. You're actually wrong. There's been comments on my videos about it. There's been people like asking me on Twitter, like, what's going on with Dying Light 2? Because some people watched it now. I played 15 hours of it. They watched the 15 hours. They're caught up. They're like, okay, is there any more? No. It's been on hiatus for weeks and weeks because everything else happened, So anyway, that's the deal, okay? Let's go through the schedule. Now, I have to tell you guys something. I have no idea what's going on after a couple days here. I should possibly have answers today. I'm still waiting to hear from my wife on her work schedule. Apparently, there's been dragging of feet where she works, and there's no schedule available right now, and she's supposed to get it today, so I know exactly what day she is and isn't working this week. Why does that affect me? Because obviously I want to have a day off with my wife when we can do stuff together and spend some time together. So whatever day she has off is my day off, you see? But until I know what day she has off, I don't know what day I have off, okay? So here's what I do know. Today, I'm streaming Elden Ring on the first stream, and ladies and gentlemen, today is a big day. Here's why. After being in Liurnia all week long, okay, I'm finally going to try out the Academy today. Currently, we're in a mini dungeon, or actually it seems like a full-length mine that's climbing up and up and up this waterway that's going to get to some kind of a bridge, and people are saying this is basically like the way into the next part of the game, so it's good to unlock it, but obviously I don't want to go up there yet because I'm not going to be doing that area of the game yet until I beat Liurnia. So we're going to finish that up, and then as soon as I finish that up, we're going to go and we're going to check out the Academy today, okay? Now, what I will say is this, guys. What I will say is this. Please be patient. Please, no spoilers, because what I'm noticing now is, as I said, a lot of people started playing Elden Ring weeks ago. You guys only played Elden Ring. You're not juggling games like me. And people are coming into the stream chat, and they're spoiling, and they're referencing things from way further in the game. Cut that shit out. Really, like, I don't want to be spoiled on the game. It's bad enough on social media, as I told you guys a few days ago. There's people who are memeing about parts of the game later in the game. I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. And, if I look into it, I'm going to spoil the game for myself. I don't want that. So please, I got to ask, please do not come in here and spoil the game. People are, oh, this boss is like this later on in the game. Phil, do you know there's secret areas? Stop. Stop. I don't need to be spoiled on everything. Seriously. There's one thing if, okay, I'm playing the game and I'm missing stuff and you think it's important, you want to tell me about it, but telling me directly about bosses and areas and things before I get there, stop. All right? I know how excited everyone is. I do. I know everyone's excited because the game is so good and I'm getting to good parts. Like, people are saying the Academy is one of the best parts of the game. For some people, it's one of the hardest parts, and others, they really like it. I don't even know what to expect, and that's a good thing. I don't want to know the whole fucking thing before I get there. All right? So, please, be respectful and don't spoil, okay? Thank you. So, what are we doing today? Today will be the Academy. I hope. You know, I hope that we do well. Hope that there's good progress. And do I expect to beat the entire thing in one sitting? I don't think so. I think the Academy is am I right in saying the Academy is the next Legacy dungeon? I don't know. I know that Stormvale Castle was one, but I don't know if the Academy is considered a Legacy dungeon or not. But you know, if it is, cool. You know, that would be awesome for us to finally be doing another one of those. And I definitely want to jump into it today and get major progress today. Okay. Will I beat it today? Unlikely. My stream's 3 hours of gameplay. It is. People are confirming it is the next Legacy dungeon. Thank you. I doubt we're going to beat it today. All right. But here's the good news. I've decided tomorrow to shift the schedule around. So let me get through the schedule. Today, Elden Ring on the main stream. Later tonight is Horizon Forbidden West on the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 2 hours, we're going to be doing some, like I said, story-based missions based on the side characters. So even though they're considered side missions, they're still story missions, just side stories for the main characters, okay? So we're going to do that tonight, okay? Now, big alert, everyone. I got to talk to everyone about this all day because I'm nervous about tomorrow. Today, going into tomorrow, overnight, here in the United States, it's daylight saving time. Oh, that thing that we do every year that makes no fucking sense, and no one in this country wants to do it. But our government is so inefficient, they won't stop doing it. They won't just say, okay, everyone, stop fucking turning your clocks. It makes no fucking sense. So, overnight tonight, okay, our clocks are going forward 1 hour. So when it hits like 3 a.m., it's going to become like 4 a.m. Oh, it's terrible. You'll lose an hour of fucking sleep. That is complete shit. It is. What this means is that starting tomorrow, my streams will start 1 hour earlier. Okay? Now, I know many of you don't live in the United States and or you're not living in a place where this is happening. So I need to make this you aware of this because I don't want people showing up super late for Elden Ring or, you know, Skyrim at night. It would suck if you end up being late, you know. So please know that there will be streams for the rest of the year, basically, starting 1 hour earlier. I think it's not until late fall that the clocks change again. Okay, so FYI, just so you know, it is overnight tonight into tomorrow. So tomorrow morning at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, it will be another stream of Elden Ring. That's right. I've decided to do Elden Ring as the main stream both today and tomorrow. Now, originally, for variety purposes, I was going to do Skyrim as the main stream and Elden Ring as the night stream. So what changed? Well, I'm starting the Academy today. And what I was thinking was, you know, I would really like to beat the Academy within a day or two rather than me have it lingering as a thing going on all week. So I'd rather do the Academy as a big chunk of today and then the entire stream tomorrow, and then maybe we can beat the Academy so that way we can move on. You know, instead of it just being a lingering thing, you see? So that's what I'm thinking. And I hope that sounds good to you, okay? So Elden Ring today, then Horizon tonight, Elden Ring tomorrow, 1 hour earlier, and then Skyrim After Dark on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, all right? Now, what's left for the rest of the week? I don't know. Monday was supposed to be my day off. But I can't confirm or deny if Monday is my day off this week, okay? If it's not, I actually was talking with my wife about this last night. I was like, could we piece together a meal or two, you know, extra food if we need to? Yeah, we can. So it's not a big deal. It's not like, oh, God, Phil didn't get his day off. Now he has no groceries in the house. How's he going to eat? We got stuff here that we could probably piece together for a couple extra meals or whatever to make ends meet until we finally get the day off together, okay? But I won't know. Hopefully, well, I should know later today. All right, my wife's currently at work, supposed to be getting her schedule today, and then we will know moving forward for this week what the hell is going on. All right, so once I know, you'll know, and then we can actually plan concretely. Okay, now, if I am streaming on Monday, well, then it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Elden Ring on the first stream, and it's going to be Horizon Forbidden West on the late stream. Okay. That's what we'll do if I'm here on Monday. If not, then Monday's my day off, and then Tuesday will be Elden Ring on the first stream and Horizon Forbidden West on the late stream. So it's not a huge deal. It's just a matter of will Phil be here or not on Monday, and I can't answer that yet, okay? Now, next week, there's another new release. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy. I am not sold on this game at all. It looks okay, but being that I'm in the midst of so many playthroughs as it is, I don't want to take away from them. So I'm thinking right now, this will be a wait and see attitude. Let's see. Let's wait for some early reviews. Let's wait for some people to get their hands on the game and play it. And if it ends up being a game, I'll give you an example. Guardians of the Galaxy last year, everything looked kind of crappy about it. Ended up being one of the best games of the year. So you can't usually test or trust these early reviews and stuff. You basically have to wait for the game to come out, and then you can know how good it is, okay? So that's kind of the attitude I'm taking with this game. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm super stoked to play it. I'm actually not at all. But at the same time, it may end up being a great end product. We don't know till it actually comes out. So is it a possibility? Yes. Is it something that I'm absolutely committing to? Hell no. Let's wait and see. We'll play Elden Ring all week. We'll balance that with Horizon and Skyrim. And then when we see when the game comes out, if it's any good, that's when I'll make my judgment call. Okay? I can tell you the games I'm absolutely playing this month are Ghostwire Tokyo and Kirby at the end of the month, which is, I think, the 25th of the month they both come out. Now, here you go. Someone just asked, what about Shadow Warrior 3? What about it? See what I mean? It's a minor game. No one's really talking about it. Completely overshadowed by the other games that have come out. What is it? It's an actual over-the-top action-based shooter with some gore and some really interesting graphics. It combines kind of Asian-style design with gory kind of smash-mouth first-person shooter gameplay. Looks interesting. Terrible time to come out. No one's playing it. Seriously, like, no one's playing it. In fact, I saw a couple tweets from the people who made it, and you can tell, like, just reading the tweet that they're kind of sad. Like, one, I'm not even kidding you. One of the tweets that just came out was like, oh, well, if you're finally done with Elden Ring, now come play Shadow Warrior 3. I was like, wow. They're actually directly referencing the other game everyone's playing because no one's playing their game. That's sad. You know? And you're right. That's exactly right, Eddie. It's kind of like budget Doom. You're absolutely right. So it's not like this game was supposed to be a mainstream hit as it is. But man, its release timing completely buried it because everyone's either playing Elden Ring or trying to play all the other games that you had on hold while you played Elden Ring. No one is talking about Shadow Warrior 3. It's just dead on arrival. So, that's really the plan for the immediate future, all right? I wish I had more I could tell you, but, you know, Elden Ring is just a dominant force in gaming, and that's what my focus is for this month, and that's what we're doing moving forward, okay? I'm not sad about that. I'm actually happy because I'm getting better at the game. You know, yesterday I leveled up my faith abilities. I actually have a secondary weapon that I'm going to mess around with. It's this ice rapier thing that I found that actually is pretty neat. It's fast, and I get the feeling if I kind of mess with this over time, I got to get another level of my dexterity, but if I do, now I can alternate between the golden halberd and this weapon for different purposes, and I think having two weapons that you can swap between is actually a good idea. So, that's the deal. That's what's going on in my streams right now. Now, thank you all for the views, the engagement. Everything's been good recently, okay? I got no complaints. What I will say is this. If you are an on-demand viewer on YouTube and you only watch the videos after the fact, you don't watch the live streams, please, again, I got to emphasize, consider liking the videos and or leaving comments. Here's what I've noticed. On streams, things have been great. Views are really good, okay? Engagement is great. I'm still getting the 100 likes every stream, if not more. I'm noticing people are saying, hey, I noticed you're on YouTube streaming and I came to join the stream, okay? Everything's been good in that regard. Subscriptions, way up. Great. Like I said, we're kind of just juggling on the precipice of hitting the next 1,000 and then pushing forward over 197,000 and beyond, which is great. And it's way faster rate than usually I get subscriptions here on the channel. So I have no complaints, but what I've noticed is the on-demand stuff. It's like, I have thousands of people on a daily basis who watch this podcast, who watch all the on-demand videos every day, okay? Just the Elden Ring videos alone get between 500 to 1,000 views a day, okay? And then they get residual views over time, all right? On top of all the other playthroughs I'm doing, this podcast gets 1,000 views roughly after about a day, okay? The likes are nearly non-existent on the videos. And the thing is, people are not hate watching my content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there are some people who do that, but that's not the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people are what you call the silent majority. These are people who will come by, They'll watch videos on demand at their own leisure, at their own pace, okay? But because and again, I take the blame for this, because I did not emphasize for the longest time how important it is here on YouTube to like videos that you enjoy and to leave comments on videos, people don't do it. Thousands of people watch the content, but don't just simply click like because I didn't ask them to. And I am at fault. And I'm sorry, because I wish that I could make this channel more prominent and make it feel like more people would be interested. That's how you do it. On YouTube, the major ways that you make a channel more prominent and appeal to more people, you have to like the videos, like the streams, leave comments. It's the engagement statistic. I know that sounds dumb because it is, but that's how YouTube does it. The more likes on the on-demand videos, the more people will see the on-demand videos in search and related search and come check them out. So what I would say is I can't really ask for more from my streaming audience. You guys, right here, you guys in the live stream chat, you guys have been amazing. You guys have supported these streams, in particular this year since January when I tried to institute, and you guys, please like the stream. You guys have done that. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that you guys like this stuff so much that you're doing this. It's called buying into the content. You know what I mean? Thank you for that. But I have to appeal to the on-demand viewers. Please like the videos that you're watching. Simply, if I could double the likes on the on-demand videos, I'm not kidding you, we would probably hit 200,000 subs by my birthday. I'm not kidding. That's how much of an impact it has. If I'm watching a video, just click like because I'm enjoying it. And the hundreds of thousands of people who do that on a daily basis, this channel will go whoop in the search results. And immediately some people, what's this? Oh, someone's doing Elden Ring. This is cool. He kind of sucks at it, but at the same time, he's learning. He's having fun. He's got a good interactive audience. Cool, I'm going to keep watching. Subscribe. And that's what happens. But I can't really do anything more than just ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, the content's being enjoyed by a lot of people. People are liking what I'm doing. I'm getting the positive feedback, but I'm not getting the buy-in from the on-demand viewer. Okay? So, if you could please like the videos if you watch them on demand and leave comments. Again, comments as simple as, wow, like this video, thanks, Phil, or great upload, thanks, Phil. That comment is just as meaningful as a ginormous double paragraph about the background of a game I'm playing. You see what I'm saying? Not every comment has to be some crazy insightful thing at all. It just be, hey, how you doing? And that helps the channel, okay? So again, stream viewers, thank you. The buy-in is there. I see it every day, the positivity, the support. I really appreciate that. On-demand viewers who have been there through thick and thin, you guys have been with me for how many years, right? Watching all my content. Please like the videos and leave comments. In fact, I'm going to make a special video later tonight, separate from the daily wrap, where I'm going to upload it to the channel to hopefully appeal to those who are watching on demand, because I do get the feeling that, you know, a lot of people just don't realize it. Or I talked about it, in early February, and that was the last time I really mentioned, what is going on? I'm pink. I've had enough. Stop making me pink. Now you make me so angry I will turn pink. Get this out of here. Auto adjust bullshit. Okay, there, I turned it off. They can be fucking pink. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it would absolutely, positively help. Just as simple as just clicking like on a video. So thank you. And by the way, if you're a live stream viewer and maybe you're someone who catches the videos on demand later that you can't be here for the live stream, obvious no-brainer. You guys know, please like those videos too, okay? Because that's what I'm noticing. Like, the videos do good, but then I look, oh, wow, the views are pretty good. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, there's like no likes on this video. Like, what? Hundreds of people, sometimes thousands of people watched it. I know you enjoyed it. Why else would you watch it? Oh, okay. All right, itchy. That's really all I have to talk about today. I was looking at gaming news. There's none. There is absolutely nothing going on in the realm of gaming news right now. Kind of dead. So rather than me sit here and babble on about baloney and nonsense, I'll do shout outs, of which I have one to do. Oh, one thing I should say, okay? There is a possible YouTube bug going on right now. I don't know how it works or how to do anything about it. It's in regards to super chatting and super stickers. So yesterday we had some stream regulars who wanted to do super chats and super stickers who were telling me they were getting error messages. Now I'm like, is that true? And then all of a sudden some super chats and super stickers came through. People were like, nah, we could do it. So I was like, all right, I'm not sure, you know, what's going on. So then someone actually emailed me and said, no, Phil, I'm not kidding. Here it is. I really want to support you. But there's a giant error that happens when I try to do it. And I have absolutely no idea what's causing it. I don't know if it's only certain people from certain regions, if it's maybe you pay for your super chats and super stickers in a certain method and that method is messed up or something. Yeah, I really don't know. I wish I could help you, but on my end, I've checked everything and everything works. It's not like something got disabled or something's wrong with the channel. Everything is like smooth sailing, full speed on all cylinders, nothing going wrong on my end. So what I would say is, hey, you want to support the channel, please do. As you guys know, I'm a crowdfunded individual. I don't make my living with behind-the-scenes partnerships, product placements, or any kind of streaming agreements. Even ad revenue, very little on YouTube. You don't make a lot of ad revenue here. It's all about the crowdfunding. Things like memberships, super chats, super stickers, and tips. So please, by all means, support the channel. If you're having issues and the super chats and super stickers aren't coming through, document that if you can. Because if this becomes an ongoing thing where a lot of people are telling me it's an issue, I can try to reach out to YouTube and talk to them and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, but my viewers are telling me this collectively. Because I'll be honest, yeah, I noticed it. Like, usually I get a certain amount of super chats and super stickers, and yesterday it was low. And I get the feeling it's because people couldn't do it, and that sucks because even though I don't mention the super chats and super stickers that much, I really emphasize tips. That's background income that helps me out. If that dries up, my income that I make on YouTube will go from here to here. So I can't have that, I got to make sure that everything's working. I really need to know. I need to know what's going on. So if you guys could let me know what's happening with that, if you are having issues, please document what's going on. If you can contact me, email me, darksidefil@hotmail.com. Maybe if I could get a few people who are all having this similar or same issues, I can then provide that as evidence to YouTube and say, here's what my viewers are telling me. I don't know what's going on, but please fix it. Okay. Likely, you want to know what I think? They messed up something. They tried to improve something, and as usual, they broke something. They do this all the time. This happens all the time on YouTube where someone says, here's a new improvement for today. Launch it without telling anyone. Go. Oops, broke 12 different things. But that's how YouTube has always been. They don't test shit. They just fucking throw stuff out there, and we're the beta testers for their mistakes. So, it is what it is. Okay. So, as for shoutouts today, we have no super chats. We have no super stickers. We have a tip. And the tip is from Ketchup Month, who tipped $4.20. I think someone's doing a little play on words. Okay. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So, Ketchup Month says the following. Dry pun alert. You mentioned April could be a catch-up month for games. I couldn't help but think and ask Heinz or Hunt's Ketchup. Again, I couldn't help myself, and good luck with the time change. Well, thank you for that. So, I'm actually I'm going to answer this question honestly. You ready? So, when I was growing up as a kid, we always had Heinz Ketchup in the house. I don't know why, but it was pretty much always Heinz. And I used to go to Burger King as a kid. Almost never McDonald's. If we were going to go out and get burgers, fast food burgers, it was almost always Burger King. And Burger King had a partnership with Heinz Ketchup. So pretty much I was always eating Heinz Ketchup growing up. That was my ketchup. I didn't even know. I thought ketchup was Heinz. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how back in the day people were like, they would just call them Nintendo games because they said all video games are Nintendo, or a lot of people just say Coke rather than say Coke or Pepsi. They say, give me Coke. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, I just thought that all ketchup was Heinz ketchup because I never really saw any others. Then, as I got a little older and I started going out with restaurants and stuff. Oh, that's true. Like tissues, Kleenex. A lot of people just say, give me a Kleenex rather than give me a tissue. You're right. There you go. So then as I got older, I started going to other restaurants and stuff. I would notice that when I'm there and, you have their generic ketchup bottles or whatever, and you start to put each stuff, like, it doesn't taste like ketchup. It tastes different, Heinz has this unique, I don't know what their recipe is, but there's some kind of spices they put in it, and it's a certain level of vinegar that they put in their ketchup, that it has a unique taste to it. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go out and you get other ketchup, not to say that other ketchup is bad, but they definitely taste different. I've noticed that over the years. And a lot of times, like McDonald's ketchup, I actually don't like McDonald's ketchup. I think it's their own brand. Like, they make their own ketchup. I don't like it. I don't think it has enough. I think it's like a tame ketchup. It doesn't taste good enough. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people love McDonald's fries. I don't like them that much because I think their ketchup sucks. But now you talk about Hunt's. I did have Hunt's years later. I like Hunt's. I think Hunt's is pretty good. And it's funny because Hunt's tends to be, I think, a little cheaper than Heinz for some reason. I don't know if it's their process or whatever, but I think their price point is usually a little less than Heinz ketchup. So for a while, I was actually buying Hunt's ketchup and I liked it. But there's this weird thing at my local grocery store. They haven't had Hunt's ketchup in years. I don't know if there's been a falling out between Hunt's and the grocery store right across the street here that they don't carry their products. I think they do carry other Hunt's products, though. I swear to God, I've seen other Hunt's products in the store, just not the ketchup. Which is freaking weird. But anyway, in the battle of ketchups, I do feel that Heinz is superior. By the way, I'm aware did you know there's a lot of different kinds of ketchup? I didn't. And then all of a sudden you start looking into it. And they've got like regular ketchup, Simply ketchup, which doesn't have any of the artificial stuff. It's more like just like pure sugar and stuff like that. They've got like variations. I know they have a like spicy ketchup. Whoever heard of that? But they have it. They have all these variations on ketchup flavor that you can get that you don't usually see at a regular store. Everyone just thinks, oh, just regular ketchup, you know. But I'd like to maybe try some of those one day and see, you know, what the difference is. I don't know, but that would be kind of interesting. But I never really see it. Like, seriously, I never really see the different ketchup in the store. I've seen that they have... Don't they say that Heinz has 57 varieties? What the fuck are the other 56? I've seen Simply Heinz and regular Heinz. That's it. What are your other 50-some varieties? Are there different colors of Heinz? Is there green tomato ketchup? Is there sweet ketchup? Is there ketchup with chunks of tomato in it? Is there ketchup with relish mixed in it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to think of what could it be. They probably have a million things. I don't even know what they are, though. I don't know. Anyway, that was my only tip, so I figured I'd get elaborate with my answer. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, a super chat has come in from Toasty Ghost. First super chat of the day, and they said, I'm drunk, let's go. Well, I wonder, Toasty Ghost, where you live. And the reason I ask that is, I say I don't think it's really healthy to be drunk earlier in the day. If you're going to drink, it's something you should do at the end of the day, since you're impaired, and you should be able to either be at home when you're drinking or have a ride home and end your day with that drink, almost like a nightcap. I don't believe in drinking during the daytime unless, you know, rare occasions you go out to dinner and you have a beer or something. But for the most part, I don't really believe in drinking during the day. So for me, it's 11:46 a.m. I would not be drinking right now if I was going to be drinking. But for you, I don't know. It depends on where you live, because some people who watch my content are way over in Europe, and that's anywhere from 7 or more hours ahead of me. So I could see if it was like 7, 8 at night for you, maybe you're drinking, you know. But anyway, Toasty Ghost, don't go too crazy. All right, be careful there. Don't hurt yourself. Drinking too much, man. I want my audience to be healthy and happy, okay? Okay. All right. That's real. I have no shout outs to do. That's it. We had one tip and one super chat. So, do you guys have any questions? Anything you would like to talk about this morning on the podcast? Okay. Or are we just going to get right into Elden Ring? Nico says it's almost 10 p.m. in Greece. No, I've never been sailing people person. Never. I have been on a boat. My classmate and close friend in high school, his dad owned a boat. Not a big one, you know, small boat. And we did go out on it a couple times with his dad and spend some time on it. Like some nights we would go there and kind of chill on the boat at night. But, you know, never sailed per se. No. Okay. How much do I leg press? I don't know. I haven't leg pressed since the early 2000s. But when my legs are probably the strongest muscle in my body. Seriously. my legs are very buff. They always were. Turtle Dude, what's going on? Good to see you here today. Jade, what's going on? Good to see you here today. Popeyes or KFC? Definitely Popeyes. I don't like KFC. KFC chicken is greasy as shit. I do like the flavor of the Popeyes, or excuse me, I do like the flavor of the KFC breading. I think that whatever the recipe is, the herbs and spices, it tastes good. But 9 times out of 10, you go to KFC, there's so much grease, it's a bucket full of fucking disgusting slop. You go to Popeyes, you get crunchy chicken. You know what I mean? Like, that breading is good. Oh, let's see here. Excuse me. Abdrick the Abafted tipped $5. Says, I'm the lord of all that's golden as long as it's near the back of a bow. Abafted? I don't even know what that means. I really have no clue. But thank you. I'll get you on the leaderboard here. Unless you mean aft, like aft on a boat. Oh my god, that's pretty complicated wordplay there. How do I enjoy black coffee? Well, I am someone who has grown to like coffee for not the flavor, but for the aroma and for the properties that it has. So if you're drinking coffee and you add sugar and cream, you're basically making yourself a delectable drink. You're making yourself a dessert, right? Because you add sugar and cream to anything, you're adding so many fat and calories to it that you're essentially drinking a dessert drink. When I drink coffee, I'm not drinking it as a dessert. I'm drinking it as a way to boost my energy by using that caffeine to tell my body, hey, stop being so tired, you know? Because caffeine, what it does is it stops those receptors that your body is telling you, oh, you're tired. It blocks that. So it makes it feel like you have more energy. In reality, you don't. You're just ignoring receptors telling you that you're tired, okay? For me, it kind of makes me feel, I'm not even kidding. When I have a cup of coffee, I get alert. Like, my mind is more witty and snappy, and it's easier for me to complete thoughts and think and jump from here to here to here to here and move around. It actually helps streaming when I have a cup of coffee. So that's why I have one in the morning, and then usually after dinner, I have 1 cup after dinner. So I have 2 cups of coffee a day, both black, always black, because I don't want the sugar, I don't want the fat, I just want the nice boost of mental acuity and energy that I get when I have that cup of coffee. Now, it's absolutely true. Black coffee tastes like shit. It does. It tastes bad. I don't like the flavor of it. It's bitter as shit. But that aroma, that deep, rich aroma, for some reason, now I've grown to like it. I don't really like the flavor of the black coffee, but I like the aroma of it, and it makes me, like, want it for some reason. You know, they say that when it comes to food and drink and enjoying it, that actually scent might in some cases have more to do with it than even just the taste. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I actually really enjoy black coffee now. Yeah. What is my biggest critique of Elden Ring? Simply put, they didn't improve upon the shortcomings of the series. What they did is they made an ultimate fan service amalgamation, okay, of everything that you wanted to see from a FromSoft game, right? All the things you like and all the things you already enjoyed from the previous games is in this game. Whether that would be bonfire system, upgrade system, NPC questing system, combat system, the parrying is there, you know. All that is there. So if you're familiar with the series, you're going to enjoy Elden Ring because there's so many references. I mean, hell, some of the bosses, as I've already mentioned, are reskins. You know, there's the Erd Tree Avatar bosses are all stray demons from Dark Souls. The Omen Killer boss is actually the Kappa demon, or Capra demon, from Dark Souls 1. So there are so many fan service references that they did right. But they had so many opportunities to improve upon the shortcomings of the series. And they just ignored them all because, sadly, I hate to say it, fanboys praise From Software so much. From Software doesn't realize that there are things in the series that could dramatically be improved. There's absolutely no reason to have programmed in input delay when you're doing a move. I don't need to press roll and have to wait a little bit for the roll to come out. It should just come out, just like it does in Neo and other games that I play. There's zero excuse except, oh, it's just part of the game now. I don't want it to be part of your game. I want my character to react when I press the button. Okay? So that's just one example. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the other things. I've talked about them over the course of the playthrough. But there's so many opportunities for FromSoft to improve their games. But because people fanboy so hard over them, they never improve because people just say it's good enough. And then they'll never actually fix anything. It's just that simple. Nico has tipped me $1.50. Says, since there aren't many people playing the Street Fighter Collection anymore, would you consider retiring it and put WWE when you get to it in its place until the Capcom Fighting Collection is out? Well, first of all, I don't think that we should treat it like that. All right? I think what you're doing is you're jumping the gun because you want to see WWE. And I understand that. I know some people do, and they're disappointed I didn't play it. Okay? What we're going to do next week when we play Street Fighter, we're going to try starting with the Xbox version. We're going to see if we can find a lobby or do ranked matches. Okay? There's potential that maybe someone like Grog might want to play again in another set. And if that's the case, that could be half of a stream one night too. I'm not giving up on Street Fighter that easily. Now, yeah, if I'm trying to play Street Fighter for the next couple of weeks and every week is a bust, then maybe it's time to say, okay, guys, throw in the towel for now. We're going to be playing Street Fighter again in June when the collection comes out. Yes, it'll be a couple of months of wait, and it sucks that we have to, but what are you going to do? Let's do something else. So, yes, maybe I will do that, okay? But, please, I know you want to see WWE. Don't be making shit up now. Street Fighter, we played 90 straight minutes of good gameplay last night, and then all of a sudden at the end we couldn't find something. That doesn't mean that it's dead. It doesn't mean that it's not working. Am I disappointed? Yeah. I wanted to play 2 straight hours of Street Fighter last night, and I couldn't. But we'll see what happens moving forward. If we wait a couple of weeks here, and yeah, if we keep consistently seeing problems with people playing or whatever, and me getting consistent matches, then yes, then maybe we could do something like that. But I'm not rushing to conclusions. You know, I love old school Street Fighter. I don't want to give up on it just because we had a bad week. Shout out to Pausen, who has become a member for 2 months. Thank you very much, Pausen, for the support. I appreciate that. I guess we'll check on, I guess we will check on members, although I'm not too optimistic. Just being honest here. $366. That's what we're at. See, we get a new member. We're still at 366. So, okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? It's not even noon yet. So, anyone else have anything else to talk about? Any questions? Can I taste the differences in coffee? Do I prefer some beans? Absolutely, I taste differences in coffee. Like a breakfast blend that is a little bit more acidic, but very lighter taste, as opposed to a deep roast, like a Colombian roast, where it's very, very bitter and dark and tastes like hyper concentrated. Like when my wife and I go to different places, for example, IHOP. IHOP has different coffee than, say, Starbucks has different coffee than, say, a local diner. They all have different coffee. They have different flavors to them. Absolutely. Anso Kamaru, I did miss your tip. I'm sorry. Let's shout that out. I thank you for calling that out. I missed it completely. He did $1.50. He says, when I lived in Korea, sometimes we would meet for lunch at like noon, and we'd have beer with our food. Some cultures drink alcohol like it's drinking water. I mean, that is true, but at the same time, when you say you drank beer, does that mean you had like a beer at lunch? Because I think you misunderstand what in America what people mean when they say they drank beer. And when you say, oh, I had a beer, right? Okay, great, I had a beer. When in America, I had a beer. No, I had a beer. Oh! It's like there's no moderation here. I mean it. Like there's no moderation in the United States. People can't control themselves. So when they all had a beer, yeah, having a beer midday isn't that big of a deal. In a lot of countries, it's accepted, socially accepted. You have a beer, you go back to work, right? But here it's like, I had a beer. Drink a fucking 7 beers, get sloshed like an asshole, you know? So, yeah, that makes sense. It actually makes sense to me to hear that. Isn't it true, like, in certain countries, they have, like, what's it called, a siesta? Where isn't it, like, you have a meal with a drink and then you have a nap or something, and then you go back to the second half of your day? Sounds like the life, man. I don't know. I never had that before. The villain says, did I ever place high in Third Strike? Not at any major tournament. At the end of my run as a competitive Street Fighter player, which was, I would say, my biggest run was from 2004 to 2007. In 2007, EVO was when I quit, basically. Around those years, I was getting much, much better at Third Strike, and I was actually traveling and playing Third Strike just as much as I was playing Super Turbo or other games. And I was getting much better. I was playing some of the best players from the East Coast and getting good at certain matchups, like against Yun, who's one of the best characters in the game. I knew how to parry through his super art combo. A lot of the common things people would do, I could parry through them and stop him from doing them, and I would actually beat people who used Yun a lot, while everyone else was having a hard time with that character matchup. And then later, there was the opening of Tokyo Game Action in Rhode Island. And this was a major Japanese-style arcade run by someone who was a gamer and a player. He went to Japan, fell in love with a woman there, married a Japanese woman, and together they invested and opened a Japanese arcade in Rhode Island. And it was amazing. He imported all of these Japanese games, including all the classic Street Fighters. Third Strike was there, CVS 2 was there, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. He had all the different versions of King of Fighters. Yes, he had Super Turbo, and he had other games like Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition. He basically had like everything there, okay? And it was really fun, especially 2009. He basically had Street Fighter 4 before anyone else. He imported the Japanese cabinets. So you could play Street Fighter 4 at his arcade before you could play it in America. It was nowhere else, but you could play it there. And I was there for the launch event he had. The day it came out, I was there playing, and I was dominating on the cabinet with E Honda. I had something like 70, 80 wins before Nestor, of all people, Koru Chado, came and took me off the cabinet. So, the reason I'm telling you this is all the way through 2009, I was playing the game competitively, because when he was running Street Fighter 4 tournaments, he would also hold like Third Strike tournaments and stuff like that. So I was playing it at a pretty high level through that time, all right? But did I ever like place highly? I mean, there was a few times I placed like top 5. I think once or twice I placed top 3, but never was I winning a Third Strike tournament. I was pretty good, but I was not like high level tournament level or anything like that. So there you go. Greetings, Salem Art Asher Sage. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Martin says, sounds like fond memories from a time past. Must have been good. It was. And you know, I hate to say it, very depressing story. Tokyo Game Action was open. I want to say he opened it like 2006, 2007. Okay? And he continued to have that run through like 2009. And then, here's what happens. He goes to Japan to spend some time with his wife's family. Okay? This was the winter in the United States. It ended up being one of the worst winters we've ever had. And he comes back from his vacation, family visit. The entire rooftop of his building caved in. There was so much ice and snow, it couldn't support it. And it caved in and it destroyed his entire business. Now, luckily he had insurance, but it was not enough to rebuild. And he had to close, and that was the end of his dream. And that's fucking sad, because he was one of the nicest guys. His name's Andy. One of the nicest guys I ever met. Super passionate gamer, super passionate about arcades and competitive fighting games, as well as Bomani games. His arcade was one of the rare places where you could go to play all the Bomani games. Guitar Hero, Dance Dance, all those games, you know, the DJ Hero. He had them all. He imported them all from Japan. And it was like a cultural center. And it was just gone in the blink of a fucking eye. Sucks. You know. Tyrus Larson, didn't we help out? I mean, what were you going to do? None of us were rich. Yeah, maybe if someone was a multi-billionaire, someone could have given the guy a couple $1 million, but no one was like, we're all a bunch of kids playing video games. You know, I was in my late 20s. This was before my YouTube days, and I was making any money, you know? So this is like, what are we going to do? We were supporting him as much as we could when he had his events. We came out in droves. We paid for every event. We bought the shit out of everything in his store. He had little souvenirs. He had food he sold. We spent tons of money there to support him because we loved the guy. But what can you do, you know? Harvey Dent says, you know, ignore these people who complain about your pre-stream because I'm really enjoying these stories. Thank you for the streams. No problem, man. My nose itches. We did as much as we could. That's the sad fact is we all rally. You know, we're talking several hundred people who were frequenters of this guy's arcade and business. who were sad that this happened. And we said, what can we do? And he literally was like, there's nothing we can do. He's like, I checked and the insurance money isn't enough to rebuild. I can't start over from scratch. I don't have the money, so the business is done. And that was the end. He had to go get another job, and that was the end of that. I think what happened is, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I could be misremembering, I think he moved to Japan for a while. I think he moved there with his wife's family and did some business in Japan for a while, and that was the last time I even heard from the guy. You know, for me, I fell out of that whole scene. I fell out of the whole tournament scene after the release of Street Fighter 4, and I started becoming a full-time YouTuber and everything. I stopped following, so I don't even know what happened to the guy. I wish the guy the best. I hope that everything went well for him long-term in his life, because he was such a nice guy. There you go. See, Sad Massarin says, I also really enjoy these pre-streams more than I thought I would. And Jane says, me too. I appreciate that, guys. Like I've told you guys, there's definitely an audience for this pre-stream podcast that's different than those who are here to watch gameplay. I know that for a fact. There's some people who are here just for the podcast. Then there's people who like the podcast, but they also like the gameplay. I like that. I like to diversify myself. As I've told you guys, long term, there's no way I could continue to be a full-time gamer. As I get older, I mean, I would hope. I mean, this is my hope. I could do it for another 10 years. I would love to do it till I like 50. Seriously, I would like to. I don't know if it's feasible, but I would like to do this till I'm like 50, but then I'm going to get too old. At 50 years old, do you think I'm going to have the hand-eye coordination to be playing these fucking games? Not likely. Plus, I'm going to have things like carpal tunnel and things that are going to happen. So I'm going to have to start diversifying. So having people who are here just to hear me chill in a podcast every day is beneficial, because that's diversification of my content. Now, over the next 10 years, maybe I can start things like this as a major thing, and now I can start to split the content. You see what I'm saying? Preparing for a change in the future. You see? Thoughts on the Dead Space remake? I don't have thoughts on the Dead Space remake. I'm interested about it when it comes out. I think it's coming out early 2023. I'll care about it then. You know, the people who made it, who made the original game, aren't making the remake. They're making their own game. So, I'll pay attention when there's more info. I don't need to get hype about it a year later or a year beforehand, you know. Just Chillin' says, the last time I was in an arcade, not one of those ticket game centers, I was down in Florida in the 2000s, was an all-you-can-play arcade. I always enjoyed multiplayer games, Simpsons, and TMNT. And that's the thing, like, I really enjoy those games too. I grew up playing those, but man, I mean, the height of arcades was competitive Street Fighter. It really was. That was what kept people going to the arcades over the years and years and years. You go to an arcade to frivolously play a beat-em-up, toss a couple, coins into a game to get you some tickets, redeem them, I had a good time. But you're not going to do that all the time. Street Fighter and competitive fighting games got people going there week after week after week. That was the lifeblood. That was the consistent customer base that kept arcades alive in the 90s. And when that went away, because everyone played on home consoles, that's when it crashed. That's when arcades just kind of went, whoop, gone. And now there's two kinds of arcades left. Legacy arcades that are meant certainly just for retro purposes, but they don't do that well business-wise. Or barcades. Arcades that have food and drinks that you have while you play the games, and it's not really about the gaming experience as much as getting buzzed while you're playing, you see. What's up, Guts? Good to see you here today. My favorite arcade game other than Street Fighter? You mean over all of time? Let me think. There's been a few. I would say Guitar Freaks. This was the first major Bamani game that I ever played in an arcade. It had a guitar, and you would play, much like Guitar Hero, on the screen, musical stuff. And it wasn't real music from the United States. It was like licensed. It was actually like original tunes in the game. And that was one of my favorite ones that got me into that style of game. Of course, everyone's going to say Dance Dance Revolution, because I did get into Dance Dance Revolution at one point pretty heavily. Back when I was a lot more healthy. Not when I was overweight like I am now. Back then I was skinny as shit, and I was dancing all over the fucking machine. Way back when, the original game that got me into it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Another game that I didn't talk about that much, but I really liked, was Outrunners. That was the sequel to Outrun. This was a game that had 4 players racing against each other, and you could pick different car types. Instead of just being the standard car, you could pick like 5, 6, 7 different cars, and they each handled a little differently. I really liked that game. Trying to think about anything else. Can't think of anything else right now. Gunther, I wouldn't know if there's any streamers who have a similar style to me. I couldn't tell you. You'd have to ask someone else. You're asking the wrong person. Yes, I liked House of the Dead Arcade. House of the Dead 1 is a super classic to me. I mastered that game, and I was able to beat House of the Dead 1 on 1 credit. By the end of its run in arcades, I could beat it on 1 quarter. That's how good I got at that game. And I really like House of the Dead 2 as well. 3 and 4 wasn't as prominent. I played them, but they weren't really prominent in local arcades, so I never really played them that much to really like them. But House of the Dead 1 and 2 are super duper classics to me. No, I never played Pang, shooting balloon arcade game. Nope. Will I watch the new Batman? I have no idea. I don't know how I would. Right now it's in theaters. I'm not watching it in theaters. Will I watch it when it's at home? I don't know. Depends on how it's available. No clue. Ow. Would I consider playing Elden Ring again with a different build? Yes. If people wanted to see that, I would consider doing it. Oh, I probably am going to play the TMNT Cowabunga collection. There's just so much value in it because it's so many different styles of games. I mean, you've got the NES versions of Ninja Turtles, so you've got the original NES game that's a piece of shit, but then you got the arcade games. There's 2 of them. It was the arcade, which was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and then 3, I think, was it the Manhattan Project, which was like a spin-off of Turtles 2, and then you got the SNES versions, which is Turtles in Time, and there was another one after that too, I think. And then on top of that, you got the Genesis versions. Then you got the tournament fighters. And then you apparently have ports of the arcade games too. So it's kind of like every Turtles game, you know? So there's value there. Even if you don't play every one of the games, if you just play like 2 or 3 of them, you're actually getting some pretty good value. So likely I am going to be getting that collection. Only Fear of Death says, during your active competitive days, did you ever think of traveling to Japan to have better competition? Yes. Yes, when I was younger and stupid. Admittedly, I fantasized about maybe going to Japan and playing up against the best in Japanese arcades and entering Japanese tournaments and the like. First of all, it's a pipe dream because it's so expensive to go over there. Seriously, like I know from John Rambo and others who've gone over there, it's like an investment. You have to save up for like a year or more to afford a trip to Japan. The plane ride, the hotel cost, and by the way, it's not nice over there when it comes to accommodations. Here in the United States, we're used to like, okay, everywhere has a lot of space, right? You get a hotel room, it's a decent size bed. There it's like you pay a ridiculous amount of money for a hotel room. You open the door. Where's the room? This is the closet, right? No, that's the spacious hotel room. A lot of the beds are those fold down beds or just like a cot sitting against a wall. They don't have luxurious accommodations unless you're willing to pay insane amounts of money. So just going there as a tourist is actually kind of shitty. Everywhere you go, everything's hyper expensive. Food, travel cost, everything is super expensive in Japan. So it's like fantasy versus reality. Like fantasy is, oh, you think you just easily go over there when you get older and you have the money to do it and you'll just play the best or whatever. Now it's like, dude, would I like to go there? Yeah. But would I go there for Street Fighter? No. I would go there on some nice tourism with my wife. Maybe, you know, go some of the nice touristy spots in Tokyo. Maybe go to the Super Nintendo World that they have at their Japanese, Universal Studios or something like that. Do something like that. You know, take in the culture. I could care less about Street Fighter, really. Derek Long says I skipped him. Derek Long, I didn't see your question. Lagville says, been a fan for a few weeks. Thanks for keeping a consistent schedule. I was just saying this to my wife last night because I forget what it was. Oh, I remember. We were talking about her work schedule, okay? And we're upset she doesn't have a set one yet. And my wife was like, you know, I like with work at least, I like to have a set schedule so I know what's going on. That way I can plan out my week. And I was like, that's where I feel like I am different from a lot of streamers out there. Because there's a lot of streamers out there that they stream and they have a giant following, but they're very inconsistent with what they do, right? Me, I want to plan out the week so you know exactly what's going on with me. You know what I'm playing, when I'm playing it, so you can plan ahead. You want to be here for Elden Ring? I'll tell you when Elden Ring is so you can plan ahead and be here for Elden Ring. Now, today I guess we're just going to play it. oh shit, everyone drop everything and rush because Phil says he's going to play Elden Ring here. I hate that. This is my business as well as my hobby. It makes sense for me to run it like a business and make sure that there's consistency and dependability when I'm going to stream and what I'm going to be streaming. Not to say that I don't change, like already I said tomorrow, originally it was going to be Skyrim and Elden Ring. I decided I'm going to flip that. It's going to be Elden Ring and Skyrim now, okay? That I like having that flexibility, okay? But I hear all the time that people say, yeah, a lot of these other streamers they're not consistent. They just kind of do it willy-nilly. They treat it like it's not even like professional or a job. They just kind of fuck around. I don't fuck around, you know? I want to make sure that my audience knows what's going on and that you guys have a dependable place to come to chill, you know? What do you think Dr. Disrespect got paid in his settlement? Are you considering getting a hold of a lawyer? I didn't know that he got a settlement. He did say he sued Twitch, and you're saying he reached a settlement? That's awesome. Because I guarantee you what happened was a similar thing that would happen to me. He probably got hit with some bullshit like you're banned. Okay, what happened? Well, we did an investigation and found that you did some kind of misconduct. Okay, where's the evidence? Oh, we don't have to show you that. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm suing you now, you piece of shit. And if you're saying he won a settlement, guess why? Because it's illegal. You cannot just ban someone from a service where you have a contract. It would be one thing if I was not in a partner program and I was just streaming on Twitch. They could just ban me for any reason. But I was in a contract, a legal contract with them. They don't just have the ability to say we sever the contract without evidence of wrongdoing. So what it sounds to me is that in his case, there was no evidence or they didn't provide the evidence that concretely hurt his business. He could prove that it concretely hurt his business. He sued them and won. Hobo X says it was suddenly resolved without warning. Likely means they settled out of court and we'll never know why. Right, because that's part of those settlement agreements. Is that when you hit the settlement, you can't legally talk about it ever again. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, anyone who has a contract like that, okay? Anyone who has a contract like that, if it's severed without evidence of wrongdoing, they broke the law. It's true. Anyone who if you ever got kicked out of a partner program anywhere and no evidence of wrongdoing is provided, they broke the law. Not only are they legally required to pay you any money you raised up to the point that you were kicked out of the program, but now you can sue them for damages. This is 100% legal and factual, but someone like me can't do it. I don't have money. Guys, I have no money. I'm telling you, I don't have money to do. Do you know how much money it costs to have a lawyer and have a big suit like that? Like Dr. Disrespect did? I mean, how long was it? Like over a year? Just to get that through, to get the settlement? And why, by the way, look, he's filthy rich, so of course he could do it. He probably hired an insanely good lawyer who slapped the fuck out of Twitch's lawyers and said, you guys are a fucking nincompoops to think that you could break the law like this. We're going to sue the fuck out of you and we're going to win $1 bajillion. It's going to be a giant thing to drag you through the mud because you're a bunch of idiots. And they said, oh shit, just settle. Right? So, what am I going to do? First of all, if I sued them, do you really think I'm going to make $7 million? No. What would I make? At most, maybe a few, a couple, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. That's what I would think. Like what they would probably look at and say, okay, because you fucked Phil over, right? This is income he would have been making on the subs on your channel that you kicked him out of, all the super chats that he would have gotten from his audience, all the stuff you kicked him out of. So all that is gone because of you terminating him wrongly. Make a calculation and probably like a damage. They have damages too. Oh, damages to his reputation and shit. And they just come to like a summary agreement or whatever. It wouldn't be worth it. I don't have the money and the time to do it. I wish I was like Dr. Disrespect and I was immune to this kind of shit. I'm not. That's the problem. And a lot of people have said over the years, Phil, why do you really think that trolling and shit like that has hurt you so much? Because I'm not big like everyone else. Don't you think that other big streamers and content creators have trolls? But they're so big, they're immune to it. I was never big enough to be immune to it. In fact, it was the opposite, where the trolling ended up becoming overwhelming and I couldn't even combat it anymore, It is what it is. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Anything? Or should we get started? Gut says, your Elden Ring playthrough's been great. Liking it so far. It's fun seeing you rage and having tough times in the game. It can be frustrating to watch, but it's quality content for the viewers. Sounds good. Excuse me. Woo! Burnt Zapato says, can I praise the sun? No, I don't want to praise the sun. It's too hot today in my office because of the fucking sun. I ain't praising it. By the way, Burnt Zapato, any update on your ability to super chat? I don't know if you've been here before earlier. I said if anyone's still having problems super chatting or doing super stickers today, let me know. Please document this, because if there's a group of people who this is happening to, I'd like to submit that data to YouTube to analyze, figure out what the hell's going on. I noticed yesterday, overwhelmingly slow day for super chats, which is not good. If this is a pattern, this could hurt my business long term, and if it's something that's a big deal, I need to know. So please, Burnt Zapato, I know you were one of the people yesterday who had that issue. How am I doing today, Sadness Aaron? I'm doing all right. I'm ready for Elden Ring. Like I said, we're in this mine. I want to get through it. We're actually in a mine. We're getting tons of crafting materials. So what I'd like to do is finish the mine and then craft. Can I upgrade my catalyst? Can I upgrade any of my weapons? And then we're going to go to the academy. That's my goal for today. Let's start the academy and let's see what's going on with it. So, all right, Burnt Zapato just super chat. He says, gets his fixed. Good. Well, that's good to hear. I don't know what happened yesterday. There was tons of people complaining. Thank you, Burnt Zapato. I'm happy to hear they fixed it. Man on Wheels says, what other Let's Plays am I watching of Elden Ring? I'm not going to mention names, because anytime that I mention a name of anything, people go harass those people. But there's at least one person I'm watching who's not particularly good. Okay, but they play all the FromSoft games. There's one person who I'm watching who's a pro-level player known for playing From Software games. And then there's like one or two others who we just glanced maybe at one video of. So it's like a good direct comparison. Here's someone who has no prerequisite knowledge and jumping in. You know, here's someone who knows a lot about the FromSoft series. They're jumping in. Here's their takes. And by the way, the pro-level player has outright said the following things. Play how you want your first run. Don't listen to criticism on how people tell you how to play. The first run is meant to experiment and try everything. Yes, it's okay to use the summon ashes during boss fights because they're a gameplay element that's meant to be used. If you're not using it, you're nerfing yourself. If you want to do challenge runs later, that's fine after your first run. You shouldn't be telling yourself, oh, it's wrong to use ashes. It's wrong to use this magic or gameplay element, because that's stupid and ignorant. If it's in the game, use it to win on your first run. Then if you find something is overpowered or cheap on your second or third runs, that's when you decide, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it differently to make it more challenging. But on the first run, everything is fair game. A pro fucking player said that. So all these assholes who are gatekeeping Elden Ring can get fucked. The best people in the world playing the game say use everything. You're a bunch of fucking assholes. Shut the fuck up and keep your opinions to yourself. No one cares about your gatekeeping bullshit. Okay. Oh, and by the way, no one has a death counter. I mean that. Like, literally, every single person I've watched play this game has no death counter. No one counts their deaths but me. I'm the only streamer who this is demanded of. What makes him a pro player? What I'm saying is this is someone who's known for playing all the FromSoft games, ridiculous amounts of times, challenge runs, you know, people who get highlighted for playing these games on streaming services, who get the games early, who get to play them early. That's what I'm talking about. So people who like that level. That's who I've actually checked out a few different people to see what their takes are on the game. Because I've seen that I'm a casual, right? And I've seen casual. Now it's interesting to get the pro level take on it too. Whoa! NDO 103 just hit me $100. Wow, that was completely unexpected. Thank you, NDO 103, for a $100 tip out of nowhere. Thank you for that support. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Boom. Holy crap. So with that, we zoom right to $111 in tips. Just like that. Damn. Thank you, thank you. That is not where the one goes. All right. So that means Gunner Glasses, and that means you guys get to have a hat pull already before we even booted the game. Kagome says, keep up the awesome work. Thank you, Kagome. Oh, that was you, Kagome? Thank you for the tip. I'm kidding. I know. Thank you for the kind words, Kagome. But thank you so much, NDO, for that very, very generous tip. Ramrod Reamer, he says, do you watch Vati's lore videos about modern From Software games? No, but you know, I might want to because I actually like the lore. Like, back in the day when I was watching, who was the streamer who I used to watch? Who plays FromSoft all the time? I can't remember his name anymore. But I was watching him play, and as he would play, people would talk about the lore and stuff in his chat, and I would chime in. I was like, man, that's interesting. I'm interested in the lore of the FromSoft stuff because I think it adds an air of enjoyment to not just being a super challenging game, but also having a story to it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get a hat poll up here. Which hat is Elden bet? Yesterday, the fake hair hat won. So let's see what we should do here today. Let's do. We did fake hair yesterday. That's out. Trying to think, what should I put in here? Let's do Viking. Let's do. Oh my god, another tip? Email H just tipped $49.97. Thank you to Email H. Wow. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, man. Damn, that's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, shit. Now I'm getting confused. Viking. Let's do... Oh, the real life Dumas helmet. Let's do Pilot. I didn't wear Pilot yesterday for Street Fighter. And let's do... I'm trying to think of one I haven't done in a long time. The Punisher beanie. How about that? That hasn't even been in the running in a million years. There you go. All right. So thank you very much, Email H. Very generous tip. So that's another, you add 49 to 111. That would be 160. Wait. 161? 160. 160. Which means there will also be a vest, but we need the hat poll first. We need people to vote on the hat first, so then I could do the vest poll. Okay? Cool. By the way, just to warn you guys, it's super hot in the office today. I cannot wear the heavy vests today. So I would say probably the platinum and probably even the beige is out because those are the heaviest vests. And oh, I'm not kidding. I'm just sitting here. My back is sweaty because it's hot in here. It's stuffy in here because the sun is beating on this wall already. So thank you, NDO. Thank you, Email Age. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support before we even start today. Very much appreciated, man. How about this? All right. Let's end the pre-stream. Let me get set up. Actually, I gotta take a leak. So, I'll do all that. We'll get set up and started. When I start playing, we'll get the hat, and then we'll do the poll for the vest while I start playing, so that way we're not dilly-dallying here. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. And let's end it. Thank you. Great pre-stream. Chill pre-stream, right? Good discussion. And I shall see you tomorrow for another pre-stream. Unless you guys are chilling and you're here for the gameplay, in which case... Thanks. Stick around. All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.